Hi everyone, Craig from The Edge Property Buyers again. Welcome to Craig on the Road. This is part two of a bit of a discussion on ownership structures. We've briefly talked about tenants in common and joint tenants, and with all options you should get independent legal advice because it's really important to set it up correctly in the beginning, because it can cost you money and complicate your life a lot if you don't have it right. So some of the more complicated entities that you can own properties in are trusts, or companies, or self-managed super funds. These are all different entities to hold a property, a bit more complicated. Trusts, for example, they're generally used to protect assets. In case someone sues you or there's issues down the track, you're quite well protected. And you can actually claim dividends with the trust as well, and you still get your 50% capital gains exemption like as an individual owner. So there are some benefits there. You can't pass down losses and claim depreciation in your own name though. It's only claimed within the trust. So it's definitely a little bit more complicated, and there's pros and cons with each method, as opposed to owning it individually or in a trust. The same goes with a company. There's a little bit more of a downside with present laws, although because there's no capital gains tax exemption or land tax exemptions when you own a property in a company, but they are lowering tax rates, and over time, according to government, if this happens and the rates come down, that may be beneficial, because you will also, under the new tax depreciation laws, be able to also claim depreciation if you hold a property in a company. So possibly over time, some of the CGT and land tax exemptions may be outweighed by company tax rate reductions and being able to claim depreciation, and also being able to, it's the only entity you'll actually be allowed to travel and claim travel to the property, which is being removed in this budget, as well as the depreciation claims. But once again, really important, get independent legal advice. This is really just general advice on these topics. I'm not a specialist in this field, and you should definitely get specialist advice when it comes to it. And that goes into the next field where you should really get specialist advice, which is self-managed super funds. You need to have a certain balance before it's even worthwhile in setting this up. And the pros and cons of it are, it's a lower tax rate within your self-managed super fund. You can salary sacrifice up to $25,000 a year at a tax rate of 15% into your self-managed super fund. So there are benefits there, but of course everything is locked up until your minimum age is 60. But there's no capital gains once you sell a property in your super fund, once you hit retirement or start triggering retirement. So once again, really important to speak to a specialist professional who's experienced with dealing with self-managed super funds, and speak to an accountant if you're looking at any of these other entities, trusts, companies, or buying a property with multiple owners, because it can get very complicated, and if you go into it the wrong way, getting out of it is going to be even messier, and you're really going to find a big pain point. So do your research. That's number one that I say across all facets of property investing and all facets of life. Do your research before you go in. You'll find it's a lot less painful coming out. So that's it for a brief guide on ownership structures. Once again, like the videos, share the videos, comment below, and ask us questions on the website. If you need this stuff in more detail, we'd love to get a professional on to maybe do some videos or some interviews, so we can explain it in a lot more detail, because it's outside of my specialist field. So enjoy your day. This is Craig from The Edge Property Buyers. Goodbye.